Hey, Margarita. Don't hear you.
So,
You probably have to click that join audio button.
there we
Connecting
go.
to
Hey,
audio. There you go.
There you
Yo,
go.
awesome.
I
Good
hear you.
morning.
how you feeling?
Morning. Okay. Also, I'm really impressed that my makeup mostly stayed on from last night. So
Oh
Nice.
yeah.
Where'd you
Feeling
guys
great.
go?
yeah, to our friend Frankie's house.
Probably have to click that join audio button.
Oh, somebody's coming
Oh,
through
yeah.
on audio.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome.
I hear you.
Morning.
Morning.
Is that
Oh,
Ronnie
Yeah,
or
Ronnie,
Yeah,
we
what
hear
is
the
that?
whole
All
playback.
right, yeah. I didn't
like,
realize.
fuck. I
'cause
was like,
what the fuck?
I heard Dave say you're gonna have to click that audio button again.
Yeah.
I was like, I can hear her, Dave. Like, what are you talking about? But I was still doing background shit, so I was like, I'll say it in a second. And then I started to recognize the loop, and I was like, oh yeah.
that was trippy as shit, dog.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
Do you like hate the sound of your own voice when you hear it back? You're like, oh, that's what I sound like.
It sounds worse, man. It always sounds so much worse.
It
always.
does.
Yeah, always.
Cool. All right. Edgar should be joining us in a few.
Cool.
And let's just go ahead and jump into it. So last time you guys were here, Cynthia and Julio, you guys fought off the like wizard thing that was summoning the water elementals to fight you guys in town. What do you guys remember from that? Because I don't remember where we left off exactly.
so?
Last session or them?
Them.
Oh, okay.
So we found the villagers that were on the island, and essentially brought them over via ship
Mhm.
and investigated the area. Found out that the area has a very magical vibe to it, but as far as pinpointing where it's coming from or something, we weren't able to.
Cool.
So it pretty much ended with us moving the what's it called, captured villagers back to the villagers.
Cool. Yeah. And then you'll recall that when the villagers were like woken up from being stuck on the island, some of them had some like pretty crazy dreams that they were like kind of freaking out about. But yeah. Since then, Margarita or Jinx, no, not Jinx, Jane, Tybalt, and Ebrath have gone about dealing with some of the townsfolk. You and Jinx stayed behind to help some of the like villagers kind of settle back in and make sure everybody was cool while they did their own thing. As you guys are walking back towards the town square, you notice a person walking ahead of you that has a similar gait to someone you've met before, somebody that you knew prior. And as you get close to this person, you see Vox Aslan.
How long has it been in game since we fought the dragon?
So we don't have like a like solid number. I just keep saying that it's been a few months. So I don't know, I guess we could say like 6 months. However long it would take to rebuild a village, you know, and like resettle a village.
Okay, and everybody's together?
No, so we're
No.
about to meet up with the rest of the group. Right now it's just Gone, myself, and then we ran into you, and then we're gonna meet the rest of the group in town. We're headed that way.
So I'll look at Vox Oslin and just crack a smile, and I'll walk up to him, and as I get closer to him, I'll say, fancy meeting you here. It's good to see an old face. And then I do that handshake meme where it's like the two dudes and they're just like, they're like super strong
yeah,
arms. Like,
yeah.
one arm is all rocky and one arm's all lengthy because I'm an elf, half elf.
God, it feels like half a lifetime since I've seen you. How are you?
Doing pretty good. It's been a pretty interesting event since the dragon, but it seems like this world is nothing short of its mysteries. And at this point, I will kind of tell Voxocelin about what's going on in the area. Tell him that there has been not only rumors of the cult of Merkul, but we've ran into some um, undead patrons, I believe. They were like skelly dudes or something like that, if I remember correctly. And then also that the village was under siege from some sort of element, and we ran into one of the summoners, were able to take him down. Fought some water creatures that were in the area as well, including a big boy water guy that I almost drowned to. And as I'm telling this whole story to him, I'm like being super expressive about it. Like I'm like, oh, and this guy was this big, and I was in there, and I was like, and then like that's pretty much how I'm telling him the story, trying to like describe it in full detail. And yeah, so I'm trying to get him caught up and tell him like, yeah, it's been kind of tough. We've been together, Tybalt, myself, and Jinx, but it's it's it it's very noticeable when we're with less of our crew around. We've let's just say we've been taking a good couple hits here and there, good couple scrapes and bruises.
I'd imagine there've been some new additions, and perhaps not everybody made it. Who are you traveling with these days?
And I'll
As you say
say,
that, I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
So as you say that, you see like Jinx coming, running behind, like catching up to Ghana and just like waving frantically, Max, Max. Hey!" And so I approach you and then I'm like joining the conversation. I'm eager to be like, hey, what's up? How are you? It's been forever. And I'm just like interrupting your guys' conversation.
I'm happy to see the cat is still here.
And
Good
Only
to see
lost
you
one
too,
life.
Jinx.
Likewise.
and yeah,
Are you traveling with these days? Did everybody make it?
and I'll say, well, these days we've been pretty light on the original crew. It's just been Tybalt, Jinx, myself, and we've actually come across two new compatriots. And one is his name is Mathor Ebrath. He's a some sort of mechanical wizard, you might say. He actually helped make this armor that I'm currently wearing, and I'll show off my armor that
Nice,
I got.
nice.
My character is rocking what is it called? Half plate. And I'm kind of just uh showing it off a little bit, and I'll show him the crest and say, yeah, it's pretty much been made by one of the best craftsmen around this area. Her name is Taiga, and you know what? The enchantment that Ebreth has put on this thing, it's pretty great. It's
So, am I safe to say you're holding the front line these days?
let- and as he says that, I just it's visually apparent that I'm kind of like in thought about all the punches, bruises, like moments of almost drowning, and I'm like, and I snap back to
You're like, wait a second.
yeah,
You started to recognize the patterns.
Like, oh yeah.
and I go, yeah, you know what? I am, and like there's like a little bit of like cringe because I'm just like, ugh, like the reality of like he's right, I am taking a ton of punches, and
That's why.
and then I'm like, you know what, if it wasn't me, it'd be somebody else, and I would rather it be me. But I'll say, but yeah, it's been pretty great. Tybalt, it's only been a few short months, but he's grown a lot as well. He's he's been good, a little different from the Tybalt you're used to, but for the most part, it's good old Tybalt. And I'll also tell him about our additional um,
Oh,
companion.
yeah.
Her name is Jane. She is the newest addition to the group, and tell them, yeah, we were in the midst of all the chaos. We found an individual that wasn't running away from the threat, but was running towards. And whenever I see something like that, that tells me something special is within that person. And
Yeah, I don't know her very well, but if she fucks up, it's on me. So I hope it goes well.
that's so yeah,
Well,
let's but
I'm certainly eager to meet your new companions, and I'm sure they're good people. Can't be any deeper. I'm like trying to hit the right register here. Where are you off to? That's enough for now. Let's go meet up and
Yeah.
let's grab a
Yeah.
drink or something.
Yeah, we're about
Yeah.
to go meet up with him. Let's go.
Cool. Actually, since you guys were preoccupied with in-town stuff, the group has wandered off into one of the large towers that's found here at the center of town. Let me go ahead and pull up the town map again, so you guys have an idea of what we're looking at.
Is Albert not up, by the way?
I just haven't pulled anything open yet.
Okay, okay.
Who's Gyno Sphinx?
You're a gyno sphinx.
It's an owlbear. I don't know.
I
You're a
don't know,
gyno
bro.
sphinx. Sus.
Gyno Sphinx, Night Hag.
Oh, it
Flesh
says me.
golem.
I'm the guy who sphinx.
Okay.
I love this map, by the way.
This Leylon map?
Yeah, I like the angle of it, and it just looks like a cool little town, even though I know it's like run down and stuff. But I like it.
Yeah, it has character,
It
and
does.
it has plenty of
pulse.
opportunity to improve and to grow. It's a fixer upper.
Yeah.
This is my first time in the town.
Good
Yeah,
drowning
so
potential.
this is the town of
also.
Leylon,
Mhm.
Vox. This is it's south of Fandolin, and it's like about like the halfway point between like Neverwinter and Waterdeep along the high road. As you'll find out more in character, this town was settled a couple hundred years ago. However, it experienced a great tragedy and was destroyed, and is now believed to be cursed, or just like an unlucky place for a town. However, Lord Never Ember from the Steward of Neverwinter, he is looking to re-establish Leylon and use it as like a big port city. Because like I said, it is halfway between Neverwinter and Waterdeep, and this is like right on the coast. It does attach to the port. The ports do attach to the coast there, and it could be a major like boom for the economy if you guys can get this place up and running again. I'll explain. I'll let them kind of explain a little bit more, but
Just visually, are there like can I see people, or is this like a ghost town?
no, there are people. This is
Okay.
like a project that's being funded by Neverwinter.
Okay.
There are like NPCs here that you'll meet who have been given very specific tasks. Like one person's in charge of like the fishing industry here, and another person's in charge of like town matters. There's like a guard who is like in charge of all the guards, town's guard or whatever.
They're like, yeah, we're guards. We're guards. Yeah.
So this is like an ongoing project. It's an ongoing project from Neverwinter. You guys have been tasked to, or at least the rest of the party has been tasked to help, given their history with Fandolin. They were recruited to kind of help just get things moving along and tackle some of the bigger problems that the town is encountering while it's trying to rebuild and reestablish.
Okay.
And so it's not like a fully populated town as of yet, right? So it's only been like very sparsely populated in the meantime, and now like everyone there is kind of helping or doing, you know.
Yeah, it's mostly like people that are like working on rebuilding and like their families, you know.
Okay. So it's kind of like a pioneer, like an extension type of town.
Kinda like it's more of a it's more of a city than Fandolin was. Like Fandolin was a
Oh,
very
okay.
small like hamlet. There's maybe like 50 people in Fandolin. Like this has the capacity for like a large like 300 like 500 people establishment.
Okay.
And obviously like as you can see like some of the like buildings are still in tatters and are like in ruins. This big tower is like half under construction. A lot of the houses and villas are like half under construction. So it's a work in progress. It's a fixer upper.
As
But
we walk in, I say to Jinx and Gon, this isn't quite what I expected when he told me to come here.
And curious Gun is like, oh, that's right. What brings you here? Who told you to come?
I
Don't even
after
go
the
here. Sorry.
after the whole dragon thing, I needed to sort through some things. I actually spent quite a bit of time with Falcon, and I think some of my inner turmoil is resolved at this point. And you definitely see like Box looks maybe not quite as troubled as he used to be, after dealing with the giant knoll and like all of that whole saga. So he definitely looks like maybe a tiny bit happier even.
There's a little pep in your step.
A little bit. Yeah, I spent a couple of months with Falcon, and he helped me work through some things, taught me a couple new tricks. But there are rumors, a lot of rumors emanating from this area, and maybe he remembers it differently. This isn't quite how you describe this city.
Dude, tell the
But-
cheeseman.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's work our way towards the tavern.
Oh man, okay.
She wants the cheese.
Fresh
milk.
macaroni and cheese.
Mm-mm.
So we're walking towards the inn. Is that right? Is that where we're headed? Or I guess
Yeah,
we're
tavern, wherever we can
Well,
grab a bite and a drink.
we're gonna okay.
Yeah, because we're not there, right? We're at the tower doing shit.
Okay. So yeah, I mean at this point,
I don't know if you
we'd
guys
go
would
to the-
know that. Yeah, I don't know if you
No,
guys
I don't-
would necessarily
No,
know
you
that.
I
guys
don't think so.
So.
I will say that Tybalt, Ebrath, and Jane, as you guys explore the tower, I know you guys found some creepy statues and all the things you guys encountered last session. Other than that, it was pretty quiet. You guys didn't really see any signs of like any ghosts or anything. You guys continued exploring the tower. However, we're convinced that if there is any extra planar like
Like,
activity,
we might want our backup, basically.
not so much that. It's more like knowing what you know about ghosts.
Hey.
It's the middle of the day and like there's just no suspicious activity happening. You imagine that if you come back at night, you might have a little bit more luck.
Ooh, it might be
So,
spooky.
Then maybe we could rest because I got fucked up.
I will allow a rest. Yeah.
Cool. So I would say, so what are we doing? We're just meeting back. I would say the three of us just are like, all right, cool. Like that was bad enough, but if we come back at night, which we should probably rest up and try and gather the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And then I'm assuming Tybalt's agreeing because he's not here yet, but too bad. So, oh, he is?
Yeah.
Edgar.
Oh, I don't
He's
know.
connecting right now. He's
Well,
connecting to audio.
he's been connecting to audio for a little bit, so I don't know.
Oh, maybe he's having a problem. Okay, so while he's still figuring it out, I say we maybe we want him here for the reuniting then. Actually able to talk for when he first sees Vox.
Step out. Step out. Step out.
Is anybody watching Critical Role still?
I'm not caught up, but I'm watching it.
I just
There's
started
a
watching.
really funny part. I'm sure Ronnie already saw this because we were talking about it not long ago, but there's a part where Ashley is out sick because she has COVID. And so like she's not playing at all, right? So they're all kind of taking turns playing her character.
Nice.
And they decide that she has a kangaroo pouch. And so like that just
Oh, yeah, I
becomes
do remember
canon. And
Oh,
now it's like
what?
she always
I'm-
has shit in her kangaroo pouch. It's great.
I'm almost done with episode 27.
Oh, then I
So
think
I'm
you
a-
should
you're
be
ahead of
around
me.
there.
I'm on like
Yeah,
26.
I think you're ahead of me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, then I do remember that. Someone came up with it, right?
Yeah, I think it was Laura.
I may have been like half paying
Also-
attention to the
How do you get
Episode-
one
I
of
do
those?
that. I do that sometimes.
if I'm working out, I may not.
Can you just
Yeah.
buy a kangaroo pouch?
No, it's because she's a
like,
fawn.
yeah.
She's a fawn.
She's a fawn.
Ah,
Yeah.
my bad. Okay.
Because of a lot of the main cast wasn't there for Exandria, and I'm assuming didn't listen to episode 1 where she kind of explained. I mean, she doesn't really go into much detail about her explanation other than like she says that what's her name's hot and she has like big tits. That's pretty much her only explanation. So like throughout like I think she describes her as like a bombshell, and like character art reflects that she's like very attractive, right? But so throughout this whole campaign, they'll ask her questions about her fawn anatomy because she never really explained it, and she'll have to
Yeah.
like, and you can tell too, like she probably has a very distinct idea in her mind, but some of those details she probably hasn't thought of, like her knees.
She's like
right?
winging it.
Like her knees was a big thing, how she has like the backwards knees because she's a fawn. And somebody was like,
I remember
what the
that.
I remember someone being like, what the fuck? What do you mean? And she was like, well, I'm a fawn, dude. Like my lower half is fur, you know?
Yeah.
And she was like, what the? And it was like a whole thing. And
She's
then
like chivo patas.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm. She has the
Exactly.
boobs. Yeah.
So, and I think because like she hasn't drawn much attention to it this whole time, whenever stuff like that gets mentioned, everyone just is like, oh my God, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. And she has like ribbons everywhere and like weird
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Well, because she's wearing like a very cutesy like sundress type deal, and then it's all decked out in like Rubens.
Oh, these Rubens.
I was gonna say ribbons and bells at the same time, and I said Rubens. But yeah, so like she's like dressed in like a very like like feminine cutesy way. So usually that kind of takes precedence over like describing
Yeah.
her goat body. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's just funny whenever something gets brought up, everyone's like, holy shit, I forgot. Yeah. Like, I think someone brought up her ears like a few episodes ago, and they were like, someone was like, oh yeah, they're not like, you don't have regular ears.
You got to keep that.
Hey, check this out.
Holy
See,
shit.
you don't even need to do your makeup
What the
anymore.
hell?
There you
Log
go.
in, filter, boom.
What's up?
Bro, why is that high? Why does that cat look high as fuck?
It
I
does.
mean,
He had way too much catnip.
Oh my God. The thing that throws me off is the real human teeth.
I know.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
so
You're like, that ain't
wild.
right.
That is wild.
So they go nom 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 nom.
no.
Do a Malem. Do a Malem.
Oh, yeah, do Mlem.
Can we at least get a Mlem?
How do you do limb?
Just
Mlem.
Mom.
Oh my God.
See, everybody here knows how to do it.
And now,
Limb.
Those eyes,
That was
dude.
pretty
You
good.
were
Oh,
down
that's
for the
funny.
count.
Oh shit.
You just got into
Okay,
it.
sorry for
You just got into,
distracting,
like,
but I
a-
had to show you.
all right, guys. So, down over here by let's just say it's this guy right here.
Mhm.
This building over here is the Umber Hulk's Shell Inn. You guys can meet there. This is kind of like the general like tavern for the town at the moment. Most people will kind of come in here to have a drink, buy a meal. Anybody that doesn't already have a place to stay might rent a room to sleep there. It's about like a 2-story establishment. It is owned and operated by a human. His name is, or their name is Alion. Alion Malwin. They're a human and they run the inn. You are welcome to meet up here. Who's leading the way?
I think I would. You said it's called the Umber Hulk.
Yeah, Umber Hulk's Shell Inn.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know my way around town, but I figure it probably looks like an inn, so I'll lead the way over there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind.
Cool. And I will say that as you walk up, you do see that there's like a bulletin board outside, and it says job board, like looking for help. And you can see that there are a couple different like posters up at the moment. Yeah.
Take mental note, and I'll definitely come back to that. But right now, it's been a long road. I want a meal and some ale.
Cool. Yeah, you walk in and you are greeted by Allie and Melwin. You can see that it's still kind of it's kind of like later in the evening now, so the tavern is actually kind of quite bustling. There's several tables of different patrons kind of just eating and drinking. Some a little bit more lively than the others. You imagine that they might have had a few more drinks than the rest of the tavern. There is a just general like positivity about the air. You walk in and nobody necessarily like takes notice of you right away other than Alion, the owner, and he kind of greets you and kind of like gestures for you to like pick a table from behind the bar as he's like shining a glass, and like just wiping things down and keeping things tidy.
Pretty busy night, or not so much?
It's relatively
Or
busy.
day, I mean.
Yeah, it's like I'd say it's like nearing dusk at this point. It's probably about like 6 o'clock in the afternoon if I had to give it a time. So a lot of people are like off work now and are just like, turning in and coming in for dinner and to have a few drinks after a long hard day. And yeah, that's about it. Do with that what you will.
Okay. Well, knowing that there are probably a couple more people at least joining us, I'll pick one of the larger tables and motion over to Gon and Jinx and grab a seat.
Cool. What are Gon and Jinx doing?
So I will say I'm kind of just sitting, and after catching up Vox on as much as possible and everything like that, I'm kind of more so just wanting to hear a little bit more from Vox, and if he has any questions, then I can maybe help him out with it. But for right now, I'm kind of just like after the whole day, almost dying from drowning, almost dying from other elements. I think right now Gon is and after helping the villagers, of course, I think Gon is just trying to rest his feet a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wave down the bar keep because I want a tall pint of warm milk, but they're not quite seeing me. So I'm trying to like, hey,
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, and as you walk up, Alion looks over at you, and just to describe him a little bit, he is a like tall, very slender man, very like feminine kind of like features. He's very like androgynous, like you can't really tell if he's like
a beautiful man,
prettier than he is like masculine, or he's got like the like shaved side, but with like the long hair down to like one side, kind of. He's got like the like earring in the like eyebrow, and He might have a little bit of like some like eyeshadow action kind of happening. You're not quite sure.
Funny
like,
that you said eyeshadow and then you rubbed your cheek, but that's okay.
well, I meant I was trying to do this like,
Oh, okay.
but I
Oh.
didn't like touch my actual skin, so I kind of hovered, and yeah, it kind of probably didn't look great. I don't know why I didn't just touch my eye. I was trying not to touch my eye like it was a bad thing.
Yeah,
I
that
was
cheek
like,
shadow. Yeah.
yeah. Like I don't know, like my hands are clean. I just washed them. Like I could totally touch my eyes. I don't know. But yeah, and so he says, welcome. Can I get a couple of drinks for you and your friends?
Absolutely. Give me your strongest ale and it's a snack. Do you have some meat pies or some fruit or something? I need some food.
And he says, yes, I do have some meat pies. They might be a little bit spicy. We are outsourcing some of our food at the moment, and there is a local inn that sells some excellent meat pies, and I've secured quite an order from them. So until I make the trip back up there, this is kind of what we have to work with. And he has an assortment of like some like meats and like potatoes and some meat pies, like just like roughly chopped vegetables kind of that you would use in a stew. You can like have those as sides. He doesn't have them in a stew at the moment, but you imagine that that's probably what they'd be used for. And he says, I'll bring out a spread for you in just a few minutes. Any other drinks besides the ale? And he looks at you, Jinx.
I would like a tall pint of warm milk, if you have any.
Yeah, I can get that for you. How about for your pretty friend over there?
My pretty friend.
Yeah, and he's looking over at Gon.
And
He is
kind
very
of
pretty.
not understanding that he's talking to me like, me, I will take one of your finest Arnalderon Palmerelion.
Oh yeah, I see. He goes,
Ah,
I got something right for you. Give me 1 minute. And he like
Fancy.
shuffles off into the back to kind of get your order going, and you guys are welcome. Man, this cat thing is throwing me off.
So good. I love it. I just
It's
been staring at her
great, yeah.
screen.
I can take it off if it's weird. I just thought it was appropriate.
No, it's
It is
funny.
appropriate.
I just like every time I look.
I know the teeth are really weird.
Cool. So he comes out to the table and he sets down a large pint of ale, a large pint of warmed milk, and a large Arnaldion Palmeron or whatever he said.
Pomeranian. No, wait, not that.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, what's going on with Edgar? Is he still connecting?
I have no idea. I messaged him and he's not messaging back. So I'm just gonna assume he's still getting ready.
I fell asleep.
Fell back asleep.
Yeah, so you guys are the world is yours. You guys are welcome to talk amongst yourself. At any point, Ebrath and Jane, you are welcome to join.
Yeah, so the three of us will just kind of, stroll into and kind of having a similar idea to the first group, thinking we need to like eat and recharge and stuff. And so I'll be like, kind of lead in and like just kind of talking animatedly with my hands and say, I had no idea that was going to happen when I had completed that sigil. It just seemed like the right thing to do,
No, I don't know, but at least we made it out okay.
Yeah. Probably won't do that again, but just saying. Now we know what happens if you complete those sigils. And I'll turn around, I'll like face forward and say, "Oh, look, there's Gon and Jinx," and I'll kind of wave over to them. But I'm tiny, so like just
above table,
just barely above table.
Definitely do that again.
You just see like here's the table, and you just see the little like hand like this.
Yeah. So And as we get closer, like I'll notice that there's another person that I haven't met on the around the table, and kind of like stop and like put my arms back and like kind of to shield Tybalt and Jane. It's like, whoa, hold on. I don't know who this new guy is.
He did be
What is
creepy
this?
looking.
What are you thing?
How close are you to the table?
I'm like 5 feet away.
Okay.
I stopped just outside of striking range, I would say.
He's
Okay.
gonna just like ping.
And like I pull up my weapons, like I don't know what's going on, but I don't. They're not at you. I just have them in my hands now
Mm,
because I've never seen this dude, and he looks pretty fucking scary to me.
yeah. He's
I'm
creepy.
gonna look over at Jinx. Is this your guy?
Is this your guy?
That's who we were talking about. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna stand up.
Hey, cool.
And so, particularly for Margarita, since she hasn't heard me describe the character, so Vox is about 6'6". He's made of basically rock and like kind of dirt. Like if you look at my picture in Discord, like that's kind of what he looks like. He looks like
I like the
what's
thing.
like the thing, but
I
like green and blue and like dirty. Like there's definitely like just dirt. But noticeably, and I'd imagine you probably pick up on this if you're playing the same Jane you were last time, he's wearing like a big leather heavy trench coat.
Oh my guy.
She's all
And-
leathered up too.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and just like again, just kind of made of dirt and like dirty dude, but with this crazy leather
What
trench
about
coat
the
on.
bugs?
Oh yeah. So like
Yeah.
all annoyed.
Um,
What about the bugs?
What about the bugs?
And then the like cat eyes just get real
So,
narrow and judgy.
yeah.
yeah, real narrow. So like with just being made out of dirt, right? Vox also has a very, very close affinity, or I don't know what the right word is, but a close association with bugs in general. So like you'll see kind of some night crawlers, like going just crawling around, and spiders, and there's a couple locusts, and just like always around, just like constantly around me. But with that said, I stand up, probably like 3 times the size of Mathor, right?
Yeah, for sure.
If not more, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like I think
But,
I'm like 3.5 feet tall or something.
Aww.
So at least for sure 2 of me.
I'll just say there's there's no need for weapons. I am an ally. I am not here to harm you or them. I am Voxaslan Nakada.
Oh.
Who might you be?
Oh, okay. So I kind of see that Gon and like Jinx are like, dude, fucking chill,
Yeah. He's with
So I'm
us.
just gonna like put away, like reholster my weapons and like reach up and like grab your hand. And
It's like this.
yeah, I'm gonna reach up.
Little hands.
I'm gonna reach up and like grab your hand and be like, like whatever, like my son grabs my finger, like that. And I'll be like, all right, nice to meet you. You can call me Ebrath.
Ebra.
And I'm gonna get up and like
Ebra.
pull a chair over and just kind of hop up on it, trying to make a makeshift booster seat.
Yeah.
Ebby for short. Although like I've never called him Ebby before, and I never even like asked him if that was okay.
No, nobody calls me that. I'm just gonna shut it down real fast.
Literally nobody has ever called me that.
No one
No,
in the history of my
nobody.
life. I'm
Yeah,
like
nobody
60
ever, not nobody can't.
Also, no one can. Yeah, that's what also what I
Okay.
meant.
Okay.
What does he look like besides the height?
So I've got on like adamantine half plate. So like you do see some like gold like right above, like right on my person, but I have kind of like a dark little coat that I'm wearing with like I would say some like purple and gold accents. I am kind of wearing like a little like collared shirt that's like open to reveal the armor, but I have like the collar that goes up above like the coat, and I've got like a kind of like a darker, like duskier skin and like silver hair.
Okay, like very elegant looking.
Right, like I'm definitely like when they first found me, I was pretty like fucking dirty and shit. Like I'd been journeying by myself for a few months. Definitely like looked out of place on the road by myself. But I kind of look back like closer to myself now that I've had a couple nights sleep, able to like wash myself and stuff like that.
You finally took a shower.
But like, so my hair is silver, not because I'm old, but just because I'm like a rock gnome, you know?
Oh, okay. That's good you clarified.
Yeah. So I'm
Do you know each
like
other's
a old
ages,
dude.
by the way? I was just curious now that you said that.
no, but I'm like I would say I'm about 60 gnome years, so that would put me. I'm basically like a 20 mid
Young
mid to late
adult.
20s, yeah, mid to late
Ah,
20s. I would say.
okay.
But like with like no wrinkles or anything, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also like you kind of get the like when you look at his skin, like it's kind of like a dusky or like olive tone, but you kind of get the feeling that like he's not tan. And in fact, like he could be a little more tan had he been out in the sun more. Like I just like I've been like fucking working and operating underground for a long time.
He's a nerd.
Nerd.
I prefer scholar or researcher, but
Sounds like a nerd. What a nerd would say. Question for you, Andre. In gnome lore or in Ebrath lore,
mhm,
you have accents of gold and purple.
mhm.
Is there like a gnome sports team that the ponders, you know, like not quite a lake,
The
but like you know,
Lacarians.
a
Right,
smaller
right.
scale would be like a pond, which I imagine would still be kind of big for like a gnome, you know.
Yeah, so it really
Are
who
you a
I
Ponders
follow.
fan?
No, I follow, but I do follow the subterranean Lakers.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
With their mascot Gollum,
Yeah, he sucks,
riddled in
man.
the dark.
We all throw shit at him every game.
Ah.
How rude,
Yeah, he sucks. He tries to steal the ball a lot. He just calls it his
Oh.
precious
bastard.
mid game.
Cool. All right, yeah.
So
Jane,
after
as-
you know, like observing Ebrath for a little bit and like, okay, kind of shake my head like, all right, he looks formidable. Fix my gaze upon apparently Jane. Can you describe her for me again?
Yeah, so she's very tall. She's 6 foot and also kind of like a beanpole. And she's decked out in leather from head to toe, kind of like what a full motorcycle outfit kind of looks like, but just like matte black leather. Has a lot of like utility pockets sort of thing going on
such a girl
her
thing.
belt.
Yeah.
Utility
one
pockets,
extra
my guy. Yes.
It's like a cargo jacket.
I feel like as a woman, you already can go with like -5 pockets, like anywhere you go, and
Yeah.
so you have to add on to make up the difference. But yeah, jet black hair, olive skin, green eyes with like little flecks of gold, so like kind of hazel, but like a little more green, I would say. And she just has like a laid back, confident sort of stance to her. So I wouldn't say cat-like, but definitely like looks like agile
Okay.
sort of thing.
And when she walks, it squeaks. You can just hear the leather like.
Oh yeah.
She
Is
looks
she
hot
like
doing it. She's just really squeaky.
Yeah, those hips don't lie, bro. But those squeaks give her away.
does she look like a human?
Yeah, so yes, she's half elf, half human. So like the
Okay,
ears, I
so,
think
like,
would
the
be like the
pointed ears.
distinguished. Yeah. But
Do you have
generally,
really long ears or like more smaller human shaped
I would say
ears?
smaller human ears, so like
Okay.
easy to not notice, especially if like her very long hair is down
Mhm.
or hidden.
Okay.
But yeah.
And
That's what
Gon,
she-
like not realizing that Jane was half elf, like at this point is like narrowing his eyes and he's like, wait, Jane, you're half elf?
Yeah,
I never
Yeah.
knew. I never noticed.
that's okay. I mean, it's not something I talk about a lot.
And, and just, without any like understanding, I'm just like, why?
Well, my mother was an elf, and I didn't get to meet her, but that's just what I know about her. And then I
So-
kind of get somber about that and kind of look a different direction.
I guess
And
I'll try
and
to
without
pull
missing
you
a
out Go ahead,
yeah,
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, and without missing a beat, I'll be like, you want to try this Arnolthus Palmeralion?
Thank
And
you.
then I'll
but
just-
no.
Okay. And I'm just like, all right. And like internally, Gon's like, I gotta learn. Man, I am off today. I am not engaging very well. charismatically.
Is
Anyways.
this all like inner dialogue? Or
Yeah,
you
inner
said-
dialogue. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
he's just like,
Just
Yeah.
out loud.
He's having his like
No,
anime
you
moment
know
where
what?
it gets all dark around him and
I
he's naked
so
for some reason.
I know I'm like
why are they always naked in their like minds and
I know I'm overtaking a little bit of your responsibility right now, Ronnie, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll a charisma check to see if I say it out louder internally.
yeah.
oh yeah, let's see.
Is it a
I will
check or a
set the
throw?
DC, though. You roll the check. I'm gonna set the DC.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Would this be considered just a flat charisma check?
Yeah, just whatever your just click on your charisma score
Yeah,
and it'll
okay.
roll something for you with your bonus.
That's a 23.
Oh,
23. As you are having this like inner dialogue, like argument with yourself, you hear Ravi chime in and he goes, "God, you're doing great. Just believe in yourself. Like I believe in you."
okay.
Robbie's talking now. Okay.
And
I love the
Okay.
visual of this though, because like I'm constantly like trying to introduce Vox to Jane, and like every time I'm like starting to talk or like going to shake her hand, Don's like saying weird shit. And then like he just gets stuck for a second and he's like, oh, and then like he's having that dialogue like, oh, I'm off today. And then I'm just kind of like, you're done now?
Yeah, and Gon's so preoccupied with like his inner dialogue that he doesn't realize that he just stops mid like sentence out loud, and he's like, "Yeah," and
and yeah, and I do that as I'm like hearing Robbie's voice, and I kind of just like,
just freeze.
yeah.
I love it. So Jane, I take it then. I like the jacket. I'm Vox Aslan Nakata. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you as well. I also like your leather situation going on. Takes
I
a real
don't have
good
as many
eye.
pockets as you do, but you know.
like, do you
I make it
also
work.
listen to Judas Priest?
But just as squeaky.
Come sit. Join us for. I just ordered some food. Aeon will be right back
That's great.
with it.
What brings you out to these parts?
Well, I take it this is the whole gang. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
I
so.
guess Tybalt's here, just silent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's like, brooding or however he wants to
Oh
take
my
his
God.
character.
Let's
I'm
say,
sorry.
let's
Look
say
at how
he's.
amazing that burrito looks. Just gonna say that real quick.
That does
Yeah,
look
Like
good.
the size of my forearm, man.
Seriously.
Uh,
Child.
Yes, small
Jesus
child.
Christ.
What kind of burrito is that?
Children's size
It's a
burrito.
vegan breakfast burrito.
Toddler size
Nice.
Are you vegan?
Mm-mm.
burrito.
No,
That
but I
is
like
all.
it.
No, I get it. I mean, I eat a lot of vegan food too, and I'm not vegan, so
It's
You're
just
with one. Yeah.
the usual breakfast place I order from, like when I'm fucked up, like not feeling like doing work or whatever, was closed, so I couldn't order from them. So I ordered from this place.
God.
Nice.
I will say
Um,
though that like breakfast burritos are like one of my
Burfers.
favorite meals. So like I don't know if I could justify getting a vegan breakfast burrito.
Let me step away for a quick second too, since Julio is. I'll be right back, and then we can jump into all this.
Okay.
And I want a burrito.
It's pretty good.
Shut up.
Cool. So yeah, Ebrath, you come back to the table. Jane, you're there. You see Vox and Jinx and Gon are there. What are you guys doing? What are you guys telling them about your recent experience?
So I'm gonna look up at Tybalt. Can we just say like he's mad at me because I fucking animated that fucking golem?
I like that. That's why.
Right, that's why he's not
He's,
talking.
like rightfully annoyed.
Yeah. Like he's sitting
Why
Like
he's so
like
trying to
quiet
be
today?
rude, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's apparent that
Like
he's short with you. You know?
right. Like he walked up and was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Blah blah blah. And he's just sitting there fucking pissed, like fucking
Yeah.
this guy.
Oh,
And I'm like,
shit.
"Look, man,
It's
I
more
am
like every
so
time,
sorry.
like he comes off fine, but every time you talk, he's just like,
He's like, yeah."
like
I'm like, so look, I apologize. Shouldn't have done that. But in my defense, terrified of ghosts. So I had to get a little sauced up before we got there.
yeah.
And it just made sense. It just made sense. Their sigils are on the floor. It was broken on that one fucking statue. It just made so much sense.
And as
And
an
we-
artificer, you can like recognize like arcane elements like that.
Right.
You're just like it just sparked your like excitement for arcane mechanics, and you're just
and just
oh,
in
I know
just the
what-
wrong way, right? Like
yeah,
I
you're
should
like,
have,
oh, I'm pretty sure I know what this is.
right, and I should have investigated a little bit more, but
Yeah.
it made me a little overconfident.
Like you were like more so, I would say like it was like you were so excited that you like didn't want to listen to reason just because you wanted
Right.
to prove that you knew what it was. You're like, no,
Yeah.
no, watch, I got it.
Yeah, look, I got this, and then it was the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So I'm basically explaining that so that Dave, for your own edification. Actually, no one else was there, huh?
No, all three of the people you needed to explain it to
All walked away. Okay, I'll wait till they get back.
I was listening. No, I was listening
Okay.
to the whole thing.
Okay, so I still got to explain it to the two of them, so I'll just wait till they get back.
Okay.
Because they missed
I can
last
still
weekend too.
hear, but I'm just making a burrito.
Okay. All right, Julio. All right, as soon as Julio gets on, now I can explain it to all you guys. All right, so basically what happened was you guys were helping people, like helping the rescue efforts and shit like that last time. We were wanting to investigate what was going on in the tower because there's like a wizard there that was like saying crazy shit was happening, and he's kind of like the head wizard guy in the town. We kind of needed to talk to him anyway, and not so secretly to the other guys, I really wanted that wizard tower as our own. I was like, I want that to be our base of operations.
Hell yeah.
Then we heard there were a bunch of ghosts there, and so I was like, fuck, I don't want to go there at all. Like, fuck ghosts, they're super scary. And they were like, no, we have to go there. And maybe if we help the wizard with his ghost problems, maybe, I don't know, he'll deal with us really well. I was like, all right, cool. So I just got drunk at our villa. We now have a villa in town, by the way. It's our house. That was bequeathed to us by Neverwinter for helping. That's gonna be our base of operations while we help out in the effort. So we hung out there, cleaned up, blah, blah. I got drunk, and then we went to the tower, and they're like, yeah, fucking crazy shit happened. So we're exploring it. We found sigils on the second floor on the ground in front of these doors. We opened up the first door, and it was empty save for this statue of a girl. And as we're investigating, I see on the back that same sigil that was on the floor matched the one that was on her back, but it was like scratched out. So I was like, I know what this is. Let me complete the sigil. And they were like, no, don't do that. We don't know what it's for. I was like, it's fine. You guys are dumb. I'm an artificer. You don't know what you're talking about. And so I re-etched. I like pulled out like my blacksmithing tools, and I re-etched the sigil into her back, and then it summoned a fucking golem, and we had to fight it.
Oh shit.
And then we fucked it up, but like I got pretty fucked up in the process. And then we're like, all right, we should probably go. Like we should have the full game before we tackle this again.
What does the
brought
sigil look like?
The whole accidental
you'll see it
reanimating
when-
the golem, huh?
You'll see it when we get to the when we pop up on the map. It's on the floor.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I got fucked up. So I'm like ordering a beer, ordering a big lunch, so I can be like, yo, I'm going back to the villa for a nap after this, so I can recharge for tonight. Because I like use some fucking spells too.
I'll say you can get a short rest in.
Okay.
Because I mean, you're just waiting for nightfall at this point, and
Right.
we're like almost there.
All right. So I'm gonna all short rest it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and since I didn't play last week, I'm assuming I was able to long rest in between that.
Yes.
Cool.
So Jinx, you as well. Get a long rest in. And then Vox, I don't know if you.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'm very, very intrigued by the whole golem situation. Was that at the tower here in town?
Yeah. It was. And so there was one in one room, but there were, I believe, 2 or 3 other sigils outside of the door to other rooms. So we can safely assume that were we to, recomplete those symbols, maybe not another golem, but something else, some sort of security deterrent would arise.
This fucking cat.
Yeah, I think we confirmed last time that. So I forgot what it's called. I walked through the wall. Remember?
Oh yeah. You did your ethereal shit.
So there's
And oh, there was
like,
another one just
there's for sure another
right,
one.
right.
Yeah.
So that's right. Before we signed off last time, she like fucking ethereal plane walked through one of the doors, one of the ones we were closest to, and there wasn't even one waiting to be summoned. It was just chilling there in that chamber.
Wait,
ready
so
to
let
go.
me like and like rewind it back. What was Ebrath's reaction to her basically becoming a ghost?
I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
I would say, oh, can I do a retroactive Arcana check?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like,
remember?
or wait, or no, let's. Can I do? Huh? Yeah. Can I? But I'm saying like internally that would have been. It would have
Yeah.
influenced my reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Would you say Arcana or history?
Arcana for sure. Because it's a very magical thing that happens.
Boom. Nat 20, so it gives me a 24.
Cool.
So then
So
what would I have like inferred? Because I would have immediately been like racking my brain for any magical, like half drunk, been like, yo, what the fuck is going on? I told her I hated ghosts and she just turns into one in front of me.
Yeah, like it's a mix
fucked
of
up, dude.
like shock and awe.
Yeah.
At just the sight of a ghost.
Right.
And then a very immediate, like overwhelming sense of dread as you realize like your newfound friend
Is a fucking ghost.
kind of just like betrayed your trust,
Bro.
and is a fucking ghost.
I said it
No.
in front of her so many times. I hated ghosts, and she was like, "You're being a fucking baby." She gaslit me. She was
Yeah,
like, "Ghosts
bro.
aren't even that bad, bro." And now I know
She
why.
made you out to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Like I was the crazy one. It's
Yeah.
because she was a fucking ghost the whole
The
time.
whole time, bro. The whole time.
So then,
But
all right,
then
so I'm
like
gonna-
after
yeah.
those initial waves of like just like just immediate reaction the way our bodies tend to do, your like logic kicked in and you realized like, oh, this is a very magical effect. Like she's a blood hunter. I know that they can do these things.
I'm putting the piece. I'm just like, okay, so her body's still here. It didn't all go.
Do that meeting with all the math coming.
Yeah, I'm fucking sitting there like fucking chilling, and so I'm like, all right, cool. Her body stayed here, but like her soul turned into a ghost and she walked away. Is that how that works? Are you astral projecting, or is your whole body turning?
It's more like no, it's like an astral projection, I think.
Okay, cool. So you're not.
No,
you're not,
it's your physical body.
My full physical body.
Okay,
does
so
it?
you just straight up Danny Phantomed in front of me.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
just Danny Phantom.
shit.
Perfect way to
Okay.
explain it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that actually makes
Lux
it way cooler.
Ghost.
That actually makes it really cool. So so she fucking Danny Phantoms in front of me. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I hate this girl. Like, I fucking knew it. I was like, I knew she was bad news from the moment I met her. And then she comes back and like rematerializes in front of me, and I'm like fucking super suspicious, right? And then I'm like looking at that. I'm looking at her weapons. She's like all clad in leather. I'm like kind of goth. I'm like, oh, this bitch is a fucking blood hunter. Never mind. Like, I get it. I'm still mad because you could have told me you could do some ghost shit and not scare the shit out of me. But
typo negative listening motherfucker.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck is going on, bro? But yeah, I'll be like, all right, that's kind of cool, I guess, but still creepy.
Cool, yeah. And so as a reminder, you guys will have surmised that if you're looking for ghosts, the best time to find ghosts would be at night. Knowing what
and I'll be like, yeah, of course you would know, huh? And I'll just fucking walk away all mad, like a little kid stomping off, all fucking pissed.
But it's just
But,
like the gnome, so it's like
yeah. So like I'm legit throwing a tantrum just over like some basic shit. Whereas Tibble is genuinely upset with me for a real good reason because I just endangered the three of us.
He's so mad he left, bro.
Yeah, he was like, fuck this party. He just leaves. I'll search for blast on my own. Just takes off. Oh, so Dave, I don't know if you watched have you been keeping up with the episodes?
No.
So basically, we find out that. So one, you'll find out when you see him fight, but like in the encounters we have had, Tybalt has been much more ruthless, like and merciless from the get-go. You know, normally he'd wait to Nova until like fucking shit was going bad, and he'd be like, all right, cool, last ditch effort, let's do it. Nah, this motherfucker lets loose at the beginning and like hits hard and hits fast right away. It's like eliminate all threats. And then he story beat, like I don't think anyone knows that he's been doing this, right? Ronnie, like nobody's rolled high enough to in game to know that he's doing this, but at night he sneaks off to like where he can be alone, and he tries to send messages to Blast every night, because he's like fully convinced he's still alive. He's out there somewhere, and he's apparently has done this every single night for the past 6 months since the battle with the dragon, but has yet to get an answer. So he's like all sorts of existential crisis, and yeah, like I kind of bonded a little bit with Abrath when we were drunk at the inn after we saved these fools from like cult people, because we kind of were like just talking about how we had lost people and blah blah blah. He didn't give me any details, and just kind of like as soon as I brought up like, oh yeah, you lost someone too, he kind of clammed up, and like the only person he kind of mentions it to is gone, I believe, at that point. But even then, they don't get into detail. We'll just kind of make little comments here and there. So yeah, so homie is like fucking, he's dark Tybalt, bro.
Yo, is this like in the like audio or is somebody cooking?
Cooking?
Yeah, I think it's just the audio track.
Oh, I think it's the audio. Yeah.
Oh, it's like the
From,
inn?
like,
Is
an
it
Sizzling,
inn.
the
and I was like, yo, who's
Yeah.
cooking right now?
You're
on.
like utensils.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I turned it up, and yeah, that's 100% what it is.
Cool. So yeah, what are we doing, guys? I mean, you guys just are reunited with Vox. Has anybody asked what Vox has been up to, or what's going on?
Yeah, well, I definitely have a lot to say. I was just waiting.
Oh yeah,
to,
I'll
get
be
up
the
to
one to
speed.
ask since Tybalt's not here. And I'll be like, hey, so did you help them with like the whole Fandolin thing? You're part of that group?
I was. It's been several months since we downed the dragon. The immediate time after that is somewhat of a blur.
What have you been doing since then? Were you at Fandolin still, kind of helping them rebuild?
No, I actually took some time to learn from another blood hunter.
Bro, there's just fucking hella of blood hunters out there. I went from reading about you motherfuckers in books to now having met two in the span of 2 days and heard of another one. What is going on out here?
The other that you haven't met is somewhat of a local legend in Fandolin. His name is Falcon. And I spent several months, again, it's been a blur. I don't know exactly how long it's been, but I've been training, I've been learning a couple of things, dealing with a lot of inner turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has happened in the recent past. But it did get to a point. It got to a point where, Falcon gets hired for very unusual jobs of varying degrees of complexity. And he got a couple of rumors out of this town, out of Leylon, indicating that there were some very unusual events happening. There's a couple. He left me basically a list, and there's one, and the most important of which is that there's a rumor that Ularan Mortis might not actually be dead after everything we went through, after so much blood and turmoil and everything that we've been through. We're now being told that there's a possibility that he didn't actually die. That is of utmost concern. And I suppose it ties into some of what you've been seeing or have been experiencing here recently with the tower.
Well, so we had he was Cultimer Cruel, right? He was like the head dude.
Yes.
So we ran into other cultists. What was the name of that cult, Ronnie? Was it still Cultimer Cruel?
That was the cult of Talos that you guys.
Yeah.
Talos.
So outside of, so far we have not seen any hint of Cultimer Cruel in the town. We've only been seeing Cult of Talos pop up. So we ran into like some fucking Cult of Talos people and like their race outside of the inn where I met the guys. And then when we kind of all like convened in Leylon, basically we met Jane as they were being attacked by Cult of Talos people. And then that's who they summoned like the water elemental and shit like that. That was all Cult of Talos.
I will got our Tybalt, not Tybalt. Ebrath, give me a history check.
Fuck yeah. It's my favorite thing, bro.
Also, Gon and Jinx.
Bitch.
Oh,
What are we doing?
What check?
history.
Damn it.
Oh, I don't think I'm good at that.
I should have just given one of them advantage. I got an 11.
Same, and I have really good.
Bro, I have a +7
Roll.
and I got an 11.
Damn, like yeah, I got
Oh,
+5 and I have
I got
an 11.
a unnatural 20.
Nice.
Cool. Jinx, you recall that on your trip to Leylon, you guys came across an inn that was being attacked by a group of undead,
Right.
which bared the symbol of Mirkul on their
Mm.
foreheads.
Okay, so then I recall this memory. It all comes back to me, and I'm like, remember, I remember this, and they had that marking straight on their foreheads.
Wait, so then who had the Cult of Telos marking?
The people at the
At
town of
Leylon.
Leylon,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. For some reason, I thought I didn't think we were dealing with two separate cults again. I thought it was all Telos, but okay, got it.
Damn. So there's multiple cults around here. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah, Brad,
more.
you
that we
know,
can
you know what
discover?
they say when there's a group of blood hunters in an area, there's generally a lot of ghosts.
Man, I had never heard that before, and
I know for no ghosts.
this is awful.
It's very true. Wait, Vox, you mentioned the blood hunter you were learning from. Did you say Falcon the Hunter?
Falcon the Hunter.
He was my teacher too. He came through the town when I was young and taught me everything I know.
Really?
Yes. How is he?
Oh wow.
It's been so long since I've
He-
seen him.
Creepy, I bet. I'm just gonna fucking just make comments as I'm fucking drinking my beer.
That fool's creepy, eh?
That full sounds. Oh, you missed it. This is officially a Mex fucking inspired whole quest line campaign. We got served chorizo con papa at the first inn that we saved.
It always has been, bro. Fucking Big Al's holding it down.
That's
Big
true.
Al,
That's
I
true.
was just
That's
wondering, what was that
awesome,
one
bro.
guy's name?
Big Al's
That is true.
Falcon's busy as ever. I'm surprised you've seen that side of him. A lot of people haven't. Even these guys that we're with now, that were there with us, have not seen that side of him. We'll have to dig into that a little more. But overall, he's busy. Lots of work coming in always. So much so that he didn't have time to deal with these tasks, being so far outside of town of where he's normally from. But he did show me a couple of cool things, and I'll pull out one of my daggers and rip my arm here, and like it starts to bleed at first, and then it just all turns to ice.
Ooh.
He showed me a couple of cool things.
That's
You'll see
amazing.
more. You'll see more as we engage, and I'm sure we'll be side by side in battle in the near future here. But he's doing well. I know he's concerned again, particularly with the potential for Ularan Mortis to still be alive. This is a big concern for everyone. Yeah, I'm glad we have something in common, Jane.
I do. I like that too. I feel more at ease knowing that someone has come up the same way I have. It's good to know that we share some values here.
He's shown me how to embrace and channel my inner darkness, and I'm a better man for it.
It's amazing.
So in addition to Ularan, he also mentioned that there might be another Genasi in the area, which I didn't mention this earlier. Vox is the Genasi. They're basically a hybrid where it's like
half
they're
genie.
Yeah, but what's the correct term? They're plane touched. So yeah, they're half genie, half human. Basically, they're literally the offspring of a genie and a human. And so again, back to our storyline here. I heard that there might be another Genasi in the area, and that's all I've been looking for the past couple of years. There's my old, I don't know what the right term is, whether it's soulmate, lover, friend. I don't know.
Isn't that a
I've heard
song?
that she's in the area. What?
I think that just reminded me of like a fucking pop song from like the 90s.
I don't know. And very well might be. So I've been looking for this other Genasi for many years now, and I've caught wind that there might be another Genasi in this area. There aren't a lot of details, but Genasi are far and few between. There, you won't see you may meet one or two more in your life aside from me, but we're very rare. And so I'd like to really get more information on this. So that's kind of the second item on my to-do list here. And then, of course, like I mentioned, the third, with the ghosts. And I look at Ebra, like the ghosts. Yeah,
I'm just fucking.
the ghosts have apparently been a lot more active lately than they have been in the past. And again, you're seeing evidence of that here. All of a sudden, you have two blood hunters in the area. This is not very common, especially in a city like this. So it's been a busy couple of months. For my fellow companions I know from before and for the new, I think we're in store for a lot. I think there's going to be a lot, and let's buckle down and hang on to our seats kind of thing, because there's a large adventure that awaits us, and I'm sure we've only scratched the surface. Ghosts.
I'm just fucking shaking my head in my mug, just like.
Ebrath and Jane, can you give me a quick history check again?
Sure. Dirty 20.
Um,
Sorry, I'm trying to click through my shit. Oh, it's not working. Oh.
That's okay. With the 20, that's high enough. You'll remember, Ebrath, that one of the key features in the history of the House of the Tower, House of Talavar, is that hundreds of years ago, when the town was initially settled, it housed it was a beacon for interplanar entities.
Got it.
Part of the reason why the town went to ruins was because of an accident that happened in the tower where these creatures were released upon the town. And that's part of what you guys were kind of exploring, what Galileo was trying to get down to the bottom of, to kind of get this tower back into shape to be used as a garrison for the troops of Neverwinter, and to make sure that interplanar thing is not going to be an issue going forward.
Got it. So basically, at one point, that was like the hub. So there may or may not be like a portal somewhere located in that tower. Is that a safe assumption?
I'm sorry.
From what I would. Yeah. So basically, would it be safe to assume that somewhere in that tower there's located like an extraplanar portal? From
Something
what I would
like
know.
that, yeah.
Okay. Or at least like enough information to infer there might be one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of I'll just kind of relay that to. And how long ago was this? To current time.
When that whole thing happened?
Yeah.
Like 100 years or so ago.
Okay. So basically, as my mind's becoming a little less foggy because I'm not terrified anymore. And I'm coming down from the hangover that I had from being super drunk when we were in the tower. Sipping on my ale. I'm like, hey, hold on. A long time ago, so this would have been like back in Leyland's heyday, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So back when this place was like not a shithole, that tower was involved in an event, some sort of extraplanar travel or portal being opened or something. And I mean, it makes sense that place would have so many safeguards now that I think about it. But yeah, that tower was at the center of whatever happened. So we definitely need to go back and be much more cautious. And I promise I won't inadvertently summon any more
Aw,
golems. Oh, look at her.
Cassie.
Look at her little
That's
tail
behind my
wagging.
couch.
Right behind
Look
the
at her little
couch.
tail wagging.
It felt like a horror movie for a second. I'm like, what's behind the couch?
What's going on? I knew we were gonna find her somewhere.
Aw, cute.
She gets like when I'm on the phone, she's like, "Fuck this! I'm going back to the couch."
Yeah, like Frankie's chilling right. Like anytime I'm playing D&D, he wants to be in the room, laying down. Not that like he's bugging me for pets, but he's like, but if I'm close to him, I'm gonna get pets. It's because he's just gonna stay in the same
Yeah.
spot. So
Yeah, Bam's
um,
like sitting on my feet.
yeah, he's like, dude, just so you know, what's up?
Aw, little emo
Just in
bam.
case.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm just gonna relay that to everybody and say, you know, like we need to, if we are gonna help rebuild this town, we need to deal with whatever is in that tower and either get rid of it or make it so we can control it or at least manage it, you know, before we can really expend efforts elsewhere, in my opinion.
I think at this point, Vox will start to get a little frustrated that the food hasn't come out yet. And, you know, I saw the innkeeper eyeing up Gone a little bit ago, so I'm like, hey, you want to call him out here?
Yeah, and as the food comes out,
I will.
it's just a spread of like different like cooked hams and cooked like chickens, big piles of like vegetables. There are a couple meat pies that have a spicy aroma to them.
Dig in, my friends. I clearly ordered more than I needed. Please have at it. It's on me.
Yeah, I think I will.
I look
I'll start
around, no one's
digging
doing
in.
anything. I just like
I'm
fucking
gonna start.
go at it.
I'm
hungry.
gonna start digging in.
Yeah. Can I assume that Aelion just kind of chills at the table for a little bit?
Sure, you can assume that.
Okay. Let's see, what do I want to ask Aelion exactly? Aelion, I'm new in town. I am Voxaslan Nakada. Nice to meet you. Thank you for bringing out the food.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for coming into the Umber Hulk's shell. You know, we're like the rest of town. We're still getting up and running and hoping to make things a little bit more lively around here.
What have you heard of ghosts in the area?
Oh, a lot of the soldiers that come in talk about spooky happenings around that tower there in town. The House of Talavar is rumored to be just plagued with ghostly phenomenon at night. I wouldn't go anywhere near that if I were you.
Have you heard of any weaknesses or anything that can potentially help us fight these things?
No, sorry, I'm just a simple innkeeper. I'm not really privy to that sort of thing.
Have you heard anything about a genasi in the area?
A genasi? No, to be quite honest with you, you're the first one I've come across. Though your folk are a little bit rare, not something that you know, most people encounter.
Okay. Thank you for the information. I will enjoy the food.
Yeah, sorry, I wish I could be a little bit more help, but I don't know anymore.
So, you guys all ready to call it a night after we dine here? Do you have any other plans for the night? I'm trying to figure out what the groove is
So I
here.
think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to the villa, take a nap until nightfall, and I think we should. If we're gonna deal with the ghost activity, unfortunately, we're gonna have to go back when it's nighttime.
3 a.m.
Oh, the witching hour.
I
The
love
witching
being awake
hour.
at nighttime.
So
I think Jane and I like instantly at that moment look at each other like, it's about to go down.
Yes, it is.
You guys should sleep at the daytime then. Should, you know, get some rest.
yeah, I'm gonna. I already clocked my short rest. So
Daywalkers.
yeah, I'm gonna finish up and then just be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna head back over to the villa.
We'll see
And
if
we
it
can say like
allows.
you guys can get your short rest in, and then we can kind of just head over to the tower. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
trying to let Edgar back in, and I have to like mess.
Is
with
he
the
awake?
setting.
Oh yeah. Get that done. Yeah.
Get that bread.
Get it.
Let's get this bread.
Smell that shit.
Let's get this shit. Let's smell this shit.
Do you guys remember that movie, Story of Dewey Cox?
Oh my god,
Was that
I
Walk
forgot
Hard?
about that.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't think I
John
ever
C.
saw the
Reilly.
whole thing.
Yeah.
I
Remember
definitely
he
haven't
lost his sense of smell because of that accident he was in as a kid? And his dad's like, wrong kid died.
I do remember. I saw that part where his like brother dies, right?
Yeah, and then at some point his like sense of smell comes back and he's like smelling dog shit. And he's like, they're like, smell that shit.
Oh, hey, and quick question. I don't just because I'm curious, is Jinx actually level 8?
Yeah, she
I
is.
was wondering that too.
Jinx is too?
What's up?
What?
What's
level
up? Let's
8.
I thought
go.
it was just
just
Jane.
me.
Oh, Jinx? No, sorry. Jinx
Jane.
is not.
Aw man, you made it.
Yes, if you mess with your shit, you better put that shit back.
Oh no, it says 7.
So this is the tower in question, right? I mean,
Yes.
obviously,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
That's the one.
excited.
we're actually right across the street from it.
Right. But I was gonna go back, thematically, I'm going back to the villa to take a couple hours nap and then
Okay. How do we get that note on there? I tried doing one and they gave me a sticky post-it note.
Julio
I was
did it.
going to
I think.
label the tavern.
No.
You didn't do it? Who did it?
Real quick, I'm gonna end the Zoom session. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna
Okay.
reopen
Oh.
you guys.
And
I have to
just
I have to
renamed.
end it and reopen it to you.
Mm.
Okay.